Well, it's funny when you talk to Klayton, he said the thing about Kyler is Kyler never really wanted to run. He was really good, but he said he'd go into certain games, he'd be like, man, I really don't want to, I'm not feeling running this week, but
Wait, what? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Today, we're going to be diving into the latest clip that we ended up hearing from Brian Schottenheimer, the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And if you guys do not know as to, you're probably asking yourself, why are we even talking about the head coach from the Dallas Cowboys? But there was a video swirling around, obviously, X/Twitter about him coming out talking about Klayton Adams, which was our former offensive line coach that has now moved on over to the Dallas Cowboys as their new offensive coordinator. And he ended up mentioning something about obviously our franchise quarterback and Kyler Murray, about a conversation that they had amongst obviously Brian Schottenheimer as well as Klayton Adams about the idea that how much success Klayton Adams has had here with the run game and now having a mobile quarterback like Dak Prescott and here in Arizona like Kyler Murray. He ended up saying, the media ended up asking him about that specific question. Now, Brian Schottenheimer ended up coming out and saying that Kyler Murray used to come to, Klayton Adams and say to him, "Well, I don't feel like running this week." But let me go and dive right into the exact clip in terms of what he exactly said, and then we're going to be diving into it.
He need to be mobile, though. I mean, things that he was early in his career to really make Clayton's run game go. I know his success has been with a mobile quarterback.
well, it's funny when you talk to Klayton, he said the thing about Kyler is Kyler never really wanted to run. He was really good, but he said he'd go into certain games, he'd be like, man, I really don't want to, I'm not feeling running this week, but
So as you can tell here, a very, very weird statement for obviously Brian Schottenheimer to come out here and provide a conversation that was had between him and Adams, or Klayton Adams, our former offensive line coach. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are probably going to blow this story up and probably say things like, "Oh man, Kyler didn't want to do certain things that made him great." Now, let's be real here. Kyler Murray is a very, very good dual threat type of quarterback, and he's probably as explosive as he is, right? Those highlight reels is because of the ability of him being able to extend plays or use his legs or maybe even create a crazy run game like we had in the San Francisco 49ers game, where he pointed to, and pretty much called a shot and took a 40 plus yard touchdown to the house with his legs. So it is really weird to hear that obviously this was a thing with Kyler and Klayton Adams. Now, we don't really know, and we're not really privy to the exact context that came along with this. I don't know if this is because there was a week where Kyler Murray was not feeling like running because of maybe an injury lingering. Maybe he just didn't feel good with the ability to run because of an injury. We don't 100% know. What we do know is that this year, Kyler Murray was able to stay healthy from the beginning of the season to the end. And I mean the ability to play all 17 games in 2024. Now, it's a little weird that this has come out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure exactly how to feel, because what makes Kyler Murray great, what makes Kyler Murray amazing, the highlight reel Kyler Murray, is for him to be able to use his legs. And I remember there was a lot of questions out there about there was certain games where Kyler Murray just never took off and ran, right? Now, going back to the whole statement of I don't feel like running this week, it could be a plethora of different things, right? Maybe he knew that this defense, you can't run on them. Maybe he knew that he wasn't feeling good. Maybe he had a lingering injury. I don't know, right? I really don't know the situation. And obviously, not being preview in this conversation, literally, we get a 5 to 10 second clip with new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys and new offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys having a conversation about our current franchise quarterback, saying things like, "Oh, I don't feel like running this week." And this is kind of one of those things where I'm not going to say it's not a good look for Kyler Murray, but I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't. It's just, I don't think this is a good thing to come out, right? Especially if this is such a big year for Kyler Murray. Now, there's some people out there that don't feel like this is a big year for Kyler Murray, and I mean a make or break year for Kyler. There's some people who are like, "Oh, this is my franchise quarterback, and I don't care what happens," right? I mean that's completely fine, but this is a big year for Kyler Murray. We're heading into year 7, and we still haven't won a playoff game. We had one playoff appearance, and I'm hoping that our quarterback, he would do anything to make this team win, right? Now, like I said, I'm not going to come down hard on Kyler Murray and say things like, oh my God, you need to do this, you need to do ABC if you want to be successful. Maybe one of the main reasons why he was able to stay healthy from the beginning of the season to the week 17 was because he wasn't taking so many run attempts. And then that's possible, right? Let's be real. He's got a 5'10" frame. Every time you're looking at him, right, during a play with all these big monsters, 6'6", 6'4", all these big defensive linemen, he definitely looks like a guy that's obviously has a smaller stature compared to these big defensive linemen. And maybe that might be why he was able to stay healthy from beginning of the season to the end of the season, right? So what Drew Petzing has implemented with this offense, a run first offense, that doesn't mean Kyler Murray run first. That means running backs, right? James Conner, Trey Benson, right? And all the other guys we got in our depth chart. So I'm just kind of curious to figure out. I was really hoping that they elaborated a little bit more on this. Like, I'm going to be real. Like, I was really hoping that they're going to elaborate a little bit more in this conversation. But literally, we got a 5 to 10 second clip, and we're supposed to kind of react to it. Like, for the people out there that do not like Kyler Murray, and I have plenty of them here on my channel, this is going to be used as fuel. And I know that, right? I just kind of wanted to kind of get in front of it and not to come to the aid of Kyler Murray, because I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of those things that I don't really know exactly how to feel about it as well. But I am grateful that he was able to stay healthy with this offense of Drew Petzing. But on the other side of the coin, what makes Kyler Murray great? What makes Kyler Murray a top 10 quarterback is him being able to extend plays, and on top of that, use his legs, right? Those are the things that make Kyler Murray great. Now, what has he done in 2024 in terms of obviously being able to use his legs? He actually had a pretty solid pretty solid season in 2024 in the rushing game. He had 78 carries, 572 yards. He averaged 7.3 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns, and his longest carry this year was 50 yards. So it's not like one of those things where he was only like at 200 yards this year, and there's this big concern about Kyler Murray not being able to use, his legs, or why that part of his game is not being implemented. But this now makes sense, right? Because we had a lot of questions throughout the season as to, man, this would have been a great move for Kyler Murray to tuck the ball and run. Now, but this makes sense. Now that the coaching staff, Klayton Adams, Drew Petzing, they might be mindful as to, hey, Kyler Murray doesn't want to run this week, or he kind of told me that, so we're going to do everything we can to avoid him running. Now, this didn't come out until, obviously, Brian Schottenheimer, the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, coming out here and saying this in the owners' meetings. So maybe this is not that big of a deal to the guys that are currently still in this, and I'm talking about the coaches, right? Maybe it's not a big deal to them. Maybe they're willing to work and accommodate to what their franchise quarterback wants to do that week, which is, I guess, is cool to a point. But if there is a situation where it is a 4th and short or a 3rd and short, I know he doesn't want to run, but you would hope that he could use his legs, for any specific moments. Because I do remember specific games where we're like, why is he not running, right? And there was questions being asked, and of course, Drew Petzing came out and said that's just not, we just didn't do it, right? So it kind of got swept under the rug. But now hearing this from Brian Schottenheimer, a conversation that he had with Klayton Adams, former offensive line coach with the Arizona Cardinals, now offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys, it is a little eye-opening. It really is. Kyler Murray on the ground, like I said before, over 570 yards. It's 572 to be exact in 2024. So it's not like one of those things where, it's completely, like, the run game's completely out. Like, this is his second most in terms of the amount of yardage that he's ran. The most he's actually ran in his career was in 2020 when he had 819 rushing yards. This is his second most, so he had 572 yards, right? And then after that was 544 in 2019. There was a dip. Obviously, in 2023, he only played 8 games. In 2022, he did get injured in the late part of the season. And then in 2021, that was the the Cliff Kingsbury era, as well as the 2022 was also Cliff Kingsbury era as well. So I don't know, man. What are your guys' thoughts overall about this little clip of what we've seen? Now, like I said before, it's not like Kyler Murray had a very, very bad rushing season, but there has been some games that I can remember right now sitting in April 2nd while we're recording this video, saying things to myself, why aren't we using Kyler Murray in this game? Why are we using his legs, right? I guess this now shines a little bit of light as to why we weren't using Kyler Murray to his full potential, because I guess there was conversations about he didn't feel like running this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know here in the comments below, what are your overall thoughts about, this little snippet, this little conversation that was had in the coaches, the head coaching meetings, the owner meetings, all of these things that are happening right now. Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.